Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night. Where tonight, live and exclusive on Top Split TV, of course, we have round 5 of season 22 of Sunday Night Lights from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Roval, of course. And I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me again, as always, is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, welcome back, and a big night of racing ahead of us again, of course.
Yeah, indeed, Alex. It's an absolutely crazy strength of field we got here tonight as well. A 46.97. You needed to be at least a 3.7k I rating driver to get into this race. So we have assembled the absolute best we possibly can for the Charlotte Roval here, and it should be an absolutely fantastic race, Alex.
Yeah, a few of the big names out in force. We've got Benny Simonson, of course, on your screen, the one-plated car. Back to see if he can't wrest that top spot on the dice back this week. Two-plated car, Manu Luqueta, last season's champion. 1 and 2 both having taken out Sunday Night Lights seasons previously. 3, Kane Halliburton yet to take the track. 4, Julian O'Fray, Redface Racing, back once again, of course. He and his teammate dominated seasons not that long ago. And the top rated Japanese driver in the field tonight is one Naoya Nagai. Nagai-san once again leading the way for the Japanese drivers out there tonight, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top here, because this is such a stout field. I don't think we've ever had a strength of field where you needed a 3.7 to get in. But we got Danielle Forgarini in the 18-plated car. We got, I think that was a Blanco there that I just saw. Yeah, Inaki Blanco as a 17-plated car. He's already got one of his laps in, currently P6 with a 32.738. Daniel Camariri, who's just taken up the 4th place with a 31.977 on the first lap, Alex. He's the 16th plated car. Corey Lean as the 15th plated car. And of course, Sam Devantia, 14th plated car, up here for the Speedy Snails. And I think he's the only representation of Speedy Snails we got tonight, Alex.
Yes, that's correct. As we see, going back up the other way, I'll go top down tonight. Brett McBurney leading ANZ driver there at plate 6 tonight. The 7th plate, Giuseppe Tellini back once again in the field. 8th, newcomer to Sunday Night Lights, Loris Amadio from Italy. 9th, Matteo Grimaldi yet to take the track, and Mario Vlasic. Pretty sure we've seen Mario before. Hoping to have another crack out here tonight, of course, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And finishing off the field, we got Gilles Kawabe as the 13 Kawabe-san, who is currently sitting in 11th with his first lap of a 32.227. Ludwig Guidi, who is going to be in the 12th plated car, which is strange for us because we've seen him in single digits so much recently. And Chris Herrera, who I don't think we've seen before, he's just gone to the top of the timetables, Alex, with a 1:31.187.
Yeah,
so very quickly down to second.
Yeah, Chris, one of the regulars in Sunday Night Skippies in the US, joining us once again. These are some terrible camera angles. I might have to fix that up if I can. Chris got a ton of pace, but hopefully we see him get to use it this week. He had a bit of a rough ride introduction last week to Sunday Night Lights, and hopefully we can get a better run for him out there tonight, Corey.
Hopefully, Alex, this should be a good track for him, being a home track advantage. But currently, we got Oz and Zed's own Brett McBurney sitting on top of the timetables with a 1:31.058, just 200ths of a second faster than the 2-plated car of Manuel Luqueta.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just going to try and get some better cameras going. Not happy with the ones we got at the moment because you really do struggle to see anything that's going on. So just while I take care of that. All right, and we should be hopefully back with some sort of semblance of normality there. Nagai-san. There we go. The Japanese driver straight up to the top. Sorry, Corey, I missed. Was that what you said before, mate?
No, I said McBurney was on top, and McBurney now P2 over Manuel Luqueta. And Nagai, he just went a 130.6, Alex, 4 tenths faster than the time McBurney could put down.
That's craziness. Kane Halliburton, he is very quick in one of these cars, that's for sure. We haven't seen Kane for a number of seasons, and these camera angles are just as dodgy as the others, I've got to tell you. But he is someone racing for Racecraft Esports here tonight by the looks of things. He's one that's certainly challenged for the pointy end of this field, and he's coming around for his second lap. And we might just see, let's see what he's got here. Goes through the back chicane there. He can ride a lot of the curbs here depending on, I don't know about that, Kane. You got to get above that blue line at some point, thank you, sir. And round the big oval section, of course, the banking, not much to do in the skips here. Now into this final chicane. Will he drop down the 1 or 2? Yep, 2 gears. You can do a lot on these curbs here once again. And what's Halliburton got for us? Only manages 6th, Corey. That's we would have expected maybe a little bit more from Halliburton this time round, Corey. But maybe he's a bit dusty, the old skips. Haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I think he might just have a little bit of that ring rust going on. But that's all right. We'll let him have that. As I just seen Chris Herrera coming off to finish what I'm assuming is his cooldown lap. Plenty of time to do laps around here. We still got actually we're just about to finish qualifying, so time to go through the grid, Alex.
Why don't we do exactly that, Corey? There we go. We've got round 5, Sunday Night Lights, of course, coming from Charlotte. Japanese driver on pole for the first time that we have seen. Naoya Nagai-san from Japan leading the way with 30.6. Some 4.5 tenths from the ANZ driver of Brett McBurney, taking out the second spot on the grid. Manu Lucchetta from Movano Sim Racing, returning champion starting from 3rd tonight. Daniele Camareri from Italy, his compatriot in 4th. Chris Herrera, that's about as high as I think we've seen him start in these couple of weeks, starting from 5th here tonight for his, I think it's his second SNL. Kane Halliburton back to 6th for Racecraft Esports. Julian O'Fray for Redface Racing in 7th. Corey Lean making another venture into the top split tonight, starting from 8th for ANZ. Benny Simonson from Apex Racing. It's not where we're used to seeing Benny on the starting grid, that's for sure, and he'll be looking to move his way forward, as will the 10th starter on tonight's grid, Ludwig Guidi. Daniele Forgherini from Italy, back in the top split tonight, starting from 11th. Loris Amadio making his debut, and starting from 12th tonight. 13th tonight will be Giuseppe Tellini from Italy. Mario Vlasic joining us once again, starting from 14th tonight. Speedy Snail Sam Devantier from 15th. Sangawa Kawabe from Japan in 16th off the grid. Inaki Blanco from Iberia, the sole Iberian here tonight, out of 17th. Matteo Grimaldi from Italy making another return, starting this top split, starting from 18th. Corey, tonight, what do you hope to see out of this one?
Well, given my experience with the racing so far this week, Alex, I'm expecting it to be quite a interesting race, I'm going to say. There's a lot of different lines you can take into a lot of these corners, and a lot of places where you can gain a little bit more of an advantage over the rest of the competitors. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race for sure. I'm expecting a lot of drafting on the oval sections as the red lights mean red. We're about to go green. And green lights mean go, and we are off and racing for the Charlotte round of our championship, Alex.
Yeah, as the guys run down to the first corner, seem to be getting it done okay. How are we going a bit further back? Yeah, line astern, everyone playing nice. A little bit 2x2, almost 3 wide right at the back. That's very early to be playing those sorts of games, and the Cowboy will not be enjoying that, as these guys run the risk of losing the lead pack very early on. But meanwhile, up front, we got McBurney tucked in behind Nagai. Some fresh faces there, and I'm going to have to keep changing camera angles all throughout because these cameras are dodgy as. But we've got McBurney now with Lucchetta all over his tailpipe, Corey. Now look at them all in the background there. Herrera running very wide there. Halliburton almost looked like he picked up some of the outside wall there, Corey.
I think he just about did, Alex. It was very close if he didn't. But we can see the tightness of the racing right here in that little group that Halliburton's in. They're 3 wide coming into the bus stop. This is where I've been seeing a lot of tears, a lot of people overdriving, hitting the turtles on the curbs. But it looks like the 3 of them come out of it just about 3 wide again, coming back onto the oval section for the oval turns 3 and 4. 2 by 2 we go into the final chicane. Halliburton trying to look to make it 3 wide again. He is absolutely trying to push this one, and this is where I'm going to expect to see a lot of drama as well, as there was a little bit of contact there, and the 3 has gone around. Someone else is involved. There is carnage. 4 cars involved there, Alex.
Oh, Halliburton's come off very poorly there. We might, oh, he's straight into the pits. Let's go see if we can't pick up the main incident there. We'll go back and have a look. We'll slow it down. Oh, I tell you what, first lap, that's a massive pack to be going in there. And you got Herrera in behind Halliburton there by the looks. And he's got it. Has he got into the rear? Oh, Halliburton's turned almost on his own. I can't tell if he got into the rear of Halliburton there or not. And that's hit in Halliburton into Simonson. They're all passengers at that point, all the field behind them trying to get away with what they can. The 12 car there, he tried desperately to get away but couldn't, got caught up in the incident there. Forgiariti into the outside wall, and tell you what, Corey, that was a messy start to proceedings, that's for sure.
Indeed it was, Alex, and that has just absolutely spread out the field as I've
the
gone
guy's
back
into
to
the
leaders, and there is
McBurney's putting a guy into the wall. Oh, that's tragic. Let's go take another look at that. They're coming into the first chicane out the back, and it looks like so Nagai's taking a decent line in there. McBurney a little bit narrow on entry. Could have been a bit closer to the wall. Neither of them taking much curb. McBurney taking a little bit more. Looks like, look, Nagai was offline. McBurney taking all of the curb and launching into the rear of the Japanese driver and just punted him into the wall on exit. And that's 2 for 2 for the Japanese driver in the last couple of weeks, having tragic finishes to his race, Corey.
Yeah, and it's very upsetting to see that he hasn't been having good luck. Even more upsetting so that McBurney was the one who instigated that. And we usually know McBurney as a very clean driver. Obviously, just a little bit of a mistake there, taking too much of the turtles, which is what I said we've got to keep an eye out for. And again, that has spread out the front part of the field as Lucera and Grimaldi starting to pull away from McBurney here, almost to the tune of 1 second at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, and you've got 2 ANZ drivers now. Corey Lean bursting into the top split action this week for Sunday Night Lights behind McBurney, who's now forced back to third with O'Fray. Coming through this chicane out the back, one of the more challenging sections, I have to say. You'll find in the skips you can ride a lot of the curve if you set your suspension up correctly. But still very challenging now as we see Lean look to go around the outside of McBurney, and they'll take that line through to the final chicane this time round, and Lean getting it done. Tight on it. Oh, and behind them, O'Fray getting all sorts of curves, but the ANZ drivers working it out in front of them, and they got it done, Corey.
Yeah, one thing to worry about with that final chicane, Alex, for some of these drivers is you can actually get an off track if you cut that first turtle too much. And I've tested that out during practice sessions, and yeah, it's a real weird one to get because you can take a lot of those 2 turtles and you gain a lot of time by doing so. But yeah, there's that one sneaky little off track that sits there waiting to strike when people least expect it. But these guys are looking like they're starting to calm down a little bit here, hopefully. And looks like it's going to be all single file for a little bit, although I'm saying that McBurney actually falling off the back of Corey Lean here a little bit, and possibly going to fall victim to Alfray as we come out of oval turn 2.
Yeah, well, he's carrying a bit of front wing damage, as is O'Fray. To be fair, that will compromise them, but yeah, McBurney just... I thought he was going to give it up. for O'Fray, but no, he stayed in it. Corey Lean will run away with that, and that will bring Simonson right back into it. How did Simonson get away from that first crash? Although, O'Fray, he swung up. I tell you what, O'Fray was going to come down and grab the draft. He found Simonson waiting for him, pulled out, and Simonson then goes up, says, thank you very much. I'll take a couple of spots out of that. O'Fray's into the rear of McBurney. Is McBurney going around? Herrera's come in behind them. Oh, that's messy. You did not expect to see that kind of action in the top split on a Sunday night, Corey. Let's just grab that again as we see the full car of O'Fray. Does he tag? They've just checked up a bit. He hasn't allowed for the check of McBurney, and he's got into the rear of McBurney. And then look at Herrera jumping the curbs behind, and he's really left nowhere to go. He's that close, and they've all just piled in like shopping trolleys on a Saturday morning in the car park at Woolies, Corey.
I sincerely apologising for suggesting that maybe these drivers were starting to calm down, Alex. I think that's the catalyst that just made that crash happen. They got offended that I thought that they were being calm, so they wanted to show us some excitement. Oh, but Brett McBurney now down in ninth behind Gil Kawabe. But the leading pair of Lucetta and Kamarari, I'm just going to absolutely butcher that name the entire time. I'm going to call him Danielle, just so I don't butcher his last name anymore. They have just been absolutely cool, calm, and collected. And now they have a 3-second lead over Benny Simonson in P3, Alex.
Simpson's done fantastically well to recover from that first lap incident. And he's now with Corey Lean chasing down these guys up front, and will be doing everything he can to bridge that gap, of course. We know he's got fantastic space, fantastic pace. The question is, and he did the fastest lap last time round. He's only really on pace a few tenths, I think, 130.3. Well, yeah, 4 tenths. And so with a gap of around, about 2 seconds off, 10 laps. Look, stranger things have happened, Corey, but the two out in front, Lucetta and Camareri, I'll get it right one day too, they look set to try and run away with it. Our returning champion from last season, Lucetta, finally looking to jag a win this season, Corey.
Yeah, and he's looking comfortable while he's out there, Alex. You see they're using a lot of the apron there, putting the car pretty much exactly dead on the line down the center of the car, which that apron, if you hit it just right, can give you just that little bit of extra speed, because it's utilizing certain sections of the tire that don't get used to terribly much. It's a little trick that real life NASCAR drivers use sometimes. You can't do it so much here on the sim, because you hit the apron, it makes the NASCARs very loose. But it's good to see that little bit of a tactic working here in the skippies, as we're coming up to finish lap 6 of 16, which means we've only got 10 laps left to run in this race, Alex.
Yeah, 10 to go this time round, as we see Lucetta once again running away with it. That time, 4 tenths quicker once again, going faster. Simonson, he has dead set got the bit between his teeth, looking to chase down this front pair. And what was it, 2.3 seconds? Oh, I tell you, doesn't seem to be coming down as quick as I thought it might, but he was 4 tenths a lap quicker last lap again. You can see that gap visually looks to be coming down, but Simonson really pushing as hard as he can with Lean tucked in right behind him, Corey.
Yeah, and if we know Simonson, Alex, which I would have to say that we do by now as far as the Skippy exploits go, he is going to just be absolutely pushing the very limit, trying to catch these guys in front of him. And in saying that as well, it looks like Lucetta is gaining a little bit of an advantage over Danielle there in second. Just pulling out to 7 tenths of a second at the moment as they're coming onto the oval. And Danielle taking a lot of the turtle curbs on the entry to the bus stop there on the back straight. And I don't know, he just seems a little bit unsettled compared to the way that Lucetta is driving at the moment. So I think he might fall off the back of Lucetta here and fall victim to Simonson sooner than we think.
Yeah, these big long straights should help keep him in touch, but then Simonson once again, look, he's brought in almost half a second that lap. What do you do? A 30.2 to a 30.5. That's brought him in 4/10 again. He is dead set gunning for these guys. And these camera angles are killing me. He will make a race of it. Now, if we jump back a bit, debutant Loris Amadio from Italy. Well, the Italians patronising the series this season, which is great to see. He's just ahead of his compatriot Giuseppe Tellini, who's somewhat of a regular here with us on a Sunday night, with Vlasic tucked up behind them. They're having their battle for the top 5 positions. Kawabe-san, the leading Japanese driver, of course, after Nagai's untimely exit. He is sitting in 8th. The Cowboy, the lone Speedy Snails driver here tonight, he is sitting inside the top 10, up 6 positions. And Chris Herrera limping around. Oh, he's had more hits than Elvis tonight. That car looking fairly second-hand. I'm pretty sure... No, he didn't. He hasn't been into the pits. But perhaps carrying a fair bit of damage from his night out. He rounds out the top 10, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And everyone 11th on back is either out of this race or has taken an excursion down the pits. Currently, they're being led by the 12th car of Chidi, as... I'm trying to find the right button to press to go see his car. He's all by himself here, Alex. Got 11 seconds ahead to Herrera and 3 seconds back to McBurney, who has also fallen from grace and has ended up in 12th.
Yeah, well, McBurney having a rough night once again. Corey Lean, now the leading ANZ driver, stuck to the tailpipe of Benny Simpson, who once again 130 flat, 5/10 quicker than the leader that time round. The gap now down to 1.6 seconds and closing. I'll tell you what, I think we'll have a 4-way battle for this lead at some point, Corey.
I do hope so, Alex, because we're halfway through this race now, and the sooner that Simpson can get up there, I think the bigger this battle is going to get. It's going to be very interesting to see how it's all going to work out, especially also considering, Alex, we are only 4.5 seconds back from a couple of lap cars, being Julian Alfrey and Forglarini in the 18th plated car and 14th and 15th respectively.
Yeah, they're licking their wounds, obviously, but I have no doubt that those guys will make way for the leaders. Decent fellas that they are, and they will not have an impact, other than perhaps a bit of draft to keep this battle going for a little bit longer, as we see Corey Lean still up the tailpipe of 1B Simonson. Whoa, I don't know. He might have run a bit deep there, really pushing the limit of these cars on entry into that final chicane. But again, what's he got there? He's done a 30 dead versus a 30. Yeah, another 4/10 nearly out in that time round. And the gap now down to just over a second. I'll tell you what, Corey, 1 or 2 laps and they'll be right amongst it.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Alex. And once they reach, that magical 1 second mark, which we're just about at, that gap is going to start coming down very quickly, especially on the oval sections. You can see Simpson there in the back of my shot, at least, just absolutely haunting the background of Danielle here. And I reckon he's 0.9 as they were coming out of the infield section, Alex. He is going to be on them by the time we get into that final chicane.
Yeah, folks, that's just under a second in the skips there, and you can see him letting the car ride out right onto the wall. There's young B. Simonson, brakes in there, all the curb on the inside of the first apex, not so much on the second, right against the wall. And look at that, that was nearly another 2/10 he got through that chicane, driving hard and fast, as you might say, around here is 1B Simonson. Getting the job done now. We have a race, folks. 6/10 is the gap between these two, and we're back to 4-car battle. How long before Simonson's on the front of this one, you reckon, Corey?
Well, Alex, it is one thing to catch cars. It's a complete another to start passing them. But I think he could probably get Danielle here pretty quick. But trying to get around Big Breaks Lucetta is going to be a whole different beast in itself. So I think he might just sit in behind here and try and set up for the last lap, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. 4-car pack, 4-car race we have. And looking forward to see how this one plays out. Simpson and Lucetta, of course, known quantities to us in terms of their pace and experience. Camareri, new to the series, but certainly putting on a good show, that's for sure. And of course, Corey Lean. He's been doing some hard yards in the second split, often in the first split during the week, to get his I rating such that he can get into the top split regularly, and really showing what he's got tonight. As we see Simmons go up the inside of Camareri, gets it done through that first chicane out the back, and now 1 and 2 we've got Lucetta and Simonson, the 1 and 2 plated cars, perhaps where you might expect, although Simonson's got a poor exit there. And he's going to be under pressure from behind. Will we see Lean try to come out from Camareri? No, he's going to sit. Camareri taking a slightly defensive line into the final chicane, perhaps worried that Lean might have a look and disrupt themselves from the front two, but they're at risk of doing that anyways. Camareri really struggling to hang on to Simonson by the looks of it and adjust to this new 4-car lifestyle, as it were, Corey.
I think he's just trying to make sure Corey Lean doesn't try and get around him, Alex. But I also noticed something that I think is a little bit funny. Got the 1 and 2 car in first and second, and then the 15 and 16 car in 3 and 4. So we're keeping it within one number of each other within this race. But these drivers are definitely trying to push as hard as they can. Speaking of the second split as well, I want to give a quick shout out to Ben Snell.
Hard to go, you got, mate. Seriously.
Unfortunately, he missed out on the top split, but it looks like Simonson trying to shape up for a move around the outside of Lucetta right now, Alex. I was not expecting this move to be done with 5 to go.
Yeah, Simonson wanting to show what he's got from the front there. Corey Lean gets it done up the inside, does he? Yes, he does, up the inside of Camareri. And this, as you say, top and tail battle, really. The 1 and 2 versus the 15-16. Top and tail once again showing that IR's just a number when it comes to these very high strength of fields. And Corey Lean now sitting in third, leading the ANZ charge behind 2 of the best in the business, Corey.
And it'd be very hard to argue against that, Alex. I mean, Simonson and Lucetta on last season alone have just been absolutely dominating every single race that they've been a part of. And we don't usually see them anywhere other than the front. It's unfortunate that our Frey couldn't be up here to enjoy this battle with them, because then we'd have 3 of the greatest Skippy drivers that we've seen gracing the front of the pack. But unfortunately, that is racing sometimes. And it also looks like Kamari is starting to lose the pack a little bit here, Alex. Possibly just not quite up to spec with holding on to the speed that these drivers are starting to pull out now.
Yeah, 0.7 a second. He's still well within touch, but at that sort of distance, every chance he could lose it if he doesn't maximise the draft opportunity up this back straight as they approach the big back chicane, shall we say, for the 13th time round. 3 laps ago, balance of 4 laps remaining. 3 laps ago when they crossed the line. Lucetta all over that second curve, which is how it's different. It's a point of difference between he and Simonson when they go around. And once again, just tuck up above the blue line in between the chicanes. Camareri now and Lean. 9/10 off the front 2. He's now at risk of dropping, and Camareri will no doubt fall along with him, depending on... Corey Lean, very good through that chicane as he hung on. Yeah, no, he's still about 8.5, 9/10 behind.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for Corey Lean to try and close this gap now, because with Simonson on front, with the skill of Lucetta, they have a huge opportunity to just run away with this and battle it out between themselves on the last lap. But I wouldn't discount Corey Lean. As you said, he has been putting in the absolute hard yards for a long time. And I wouldn't be surprised if he could dig a little bit deeper here and pull something out that we wouldn't expect out of him normally, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've seen him with some great pace. Sometimes the racecraft with the elbows out might get him into more trouble than he would expect, I suspect. But look, he's playing with the big boys now. You don't get any bigger than Lucetta and Simonson up the front of a big race like this. And you can see there, Lucetta not tucked right in behind, waiting, biding his time, potentially looking to get away from Lean there, who's all over. Look at him, trying every bit and using every bit of the curb and more, trying to stay in touch with his front two. And you know when you're playing with the big boys, when you're right in draft 1 second and the next second you're gone.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex, and that's how I feel whenever I do any road race because I am terrible. But we leave all that behind for the moment because there is a Corey that is doing well, still currently on the podium, and I will strongly be expecting him to hold on to that here, Alex, as I do believe also Camariri has just about lost the draft to Corey Lean himself. So Corey actually pulling in that gap a little bit, pulled back 2/10 over the entire lap over Licata, and the gap itself looks a little bit closer than that now on screen. So we possibly could see Lean inserting himself back into this battle for the lead, Alex, with 2 to go.
Yeah, tell you what, these front guys are flying. Simpson with an undrafted 29.6. That's flying, low-level flying out there. The front three in the 29s, but you'd have to say that it's at the behest of one B. Simonson that they've got there. He is absolutely flying out there. No two ways about it. And look, he's now half a second ahead of Lucetta. That's brought Corey Lean right back into it. And look, the white flag will be out this time round, and all bets are off. At that point, Lean, I reckon he might have clipped the wall there on exit, and now Simonson might even be getting a sniff of draft in front, potentially. I can't quite see the gap, Corey, but if he does, I'll tell you what, it's his race to lose at that point.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. The draft is at about 1.2 seconds right now. Is the gap. So he very well could be getting that draft next time when we get onto the oval. And, it is white flag last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for him. And it's all about also when is he going to catch these lap cars and how easy are they going to make it for him to overtake? Because we could end up in a situation where they're trying to battle for position as well, which I don't think Alfred would be too keen on doing in front of the leaders, knowing how it is to lead one of these races and end up in lap traffic, Alex.
Yeah, Forgierini and O'Fray, of course, no slouches, but they're going to have to make way. Beep, beep, gents. Leaders coming through. Hopefully they're having their own battle, of course, but hopefully, tell you what, this is what it looks like, a 6-car or a 5-car train for the lead. It's not. It's lap cars. What sort of impact are they going to have on this one as we come down for the final time into this back chicane? Simonson having to check up. That has absolutely compromised his run through there for sure. Forgierini now. Forgierini making a late decision to get out of the way and give up the spot, but it's probably too late. That's going to put Lucetta right on the tailpipe of Simonson as they come through to this final section. O'Fray, though, is giving draft. I tell you, Lucetta's got the run up the inside, has he? They're going to be... No, he didn't get the overlap. Backs out of it. And there you go, folks. Simonson takes it out from Lucetta. Corey Lean bursting onto the top split scene with a third place finish in what is he's only about his second or third race of the season in the top split. We've got Tellini there coming for a hard-earned 5th place after Camareri crossed the line. Only his second race and grabbing P4. You got Armadio in his debut grabbing 6. Vlasic coming, he's finished in 7th. Kawabe grabbing a P8. Not sure if that's his best finish, but it wouldn't be far from it. Sam Devantia all the way up in P9. That's a fantastic drive from the Cowboy. A few of the stragglers still coming around. There's Brett McBurney. That's a sorry finish for McBurney, who was right up there. He started second, I think, tonight, Corey, and finishing all the way down 12th. McBurney will not be happy with that for sure.
Oh, no, definitely not, Alex, as we're just waiting on Blanco to finish, and with that, him crossing the line, that should be the end of the race now. And, what an incredible race, Alex. That had drama pretty much all the way through it. And just when I thought they were calming down, they proved me wrong.
Yeah, quite amazing the changing fortunes of the drivers in this race. But yeah, we're just waiting on O'Fray, and then we'll get the official results as another one licking his wounds, you'd have to say, after this one is O'Fray, finishing all the way down in 14th as he crosses the line this time round. We might now jump to our results for round 5 of this somewhat abbreviated season of Sunday Night Lights, season 22. Benny Simonson returning to the winner's circle after being pipped at the post last week for Apex Racing there. Fantastic drive from Benny, bridging the gap, which is not easy to do when you got the likes of Manu Lucetta leading the damn thing. And Lucetta forced to settle for second there. Almost got messy there with the back markers at the end, but they got it sorted in the end. And I'd say on pace alone, 1-2 is probably the right outcome. Corey Lean, as I said, bursting onto the Sunday Night Lights scene tonight with a podium finish, leading ANZ driver. Shows that the potential there of Lean, and who knows, maybe in the future we might have another ANZ champion sitting in the making, sitting in the wings. Daniel Camareri, for his second night out of Sunday Night Lights, has done fantastically well in 4th. 5th tonight was Giuseppe Tolini, one of the other Italians in the field. Loris Amadio, the fourth Italian, 4 in the top 6. That's not too bad. 6 for Amadio tonight. Mario Vlasek joining us once again. He's finished in 7th. Kawabe-san, Gol Kawabe for Japan. He's in 8th. The cowboy himself, Sam Devantia for Speedy Snails in 9th. Chris Herrera for Running on Empty Racing. Had an eventful evening, it had to be said, finishing in 10th. Ludwig Geedy, not quite the finisher last week, that's for sure, down in 11th. Brett McBurney from ANZ rounding out the Sunday Night Lights point scoring position in 12th. Inaki Blanco, the sole Iberian in the field, in 13th tonight. Julian O'Fray for Red Face Racing down in 14th. Danielle Forgiorini back in the top split tonight, but only down in 15th in the end. Naoya Nagai, after taking pole, disastrous, not of his own making, I'd have to say, in P16 is where he finished. Kane Halliburton for Racecraft Esports, unfortunately retired tonight. Hopefully we see more of Halliburton because he's got a lot to offer this kind of field. Matteo Grimaldi from Italy, all the way down in 18th tonight, Corey, and that's how they finished in what was a bumper field, and I have to say a pretty bumper race, mate.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. And as I said, it was entertainment the entire way through that race. And I got proved wrong. We both had a great perspective on some of the action that happened in there, and a lot of unexpected action as well. I'd have to say from a top split race, Alex.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, I have to say. It was pretty interesting. It certainly had its ebbs and flows. A lot of action at the start. Few folks coming to grief, and then some more action in the middle of it. It was really, the story really unfolded throughout in different ways, it has to be said, and a lot of fun had by some, if not all, is the way I would probably describe it. Still, a great race, I think, at the end, and the story that unfolded of Simonson getting caught up in the early action or the early incidents. I don't know how he survived, let alone bridge the gap. I mean, he started in 6th, I think it was, and worked his way forward from there. Speaking of Simonson, we have him in the green room. We might bring him up for a chat. G'day, Benny. Mate, started in 6th. I don't know how you got away from that incident at the start. I thought you'd come a cropper for sure, and then fought your way back for a sensational win, mate. Congratulations. How was it out there for you?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was interesting. I think it was wasn't the nicest piece of driving from quite a few people today, but managed to survive, and yeah, just got lucky. I think obviously managed to catch up, but yeah, quite a few people didn't finish.
Yeah, mate, there was a lot of nose-to-tail action in places that you'd probably expect better. And you're right, some mistakes, I think, more than anything. People, it's a tough place, really, to position your car to get through quickly and make an overtake with some of these big curves and the walls closely. And I think it brought a few people unstuck, perhaps.
Yeah, it's. I mean, especially the chicanes is not really a place for two cars side by side. So I think sometimes if you have a car on your side, and maybe you should think about giving up the corner before the corner, and think about getting a bit exit instead of just trying to make it awkward for everybody. And yeah, um, bit shocking for certain people, I thought, but you make your own luck as well. So
Yeah, 100%, mate. I couldn't agree more in terms of making your own luck. But you're right, and I think sometimes, as you say, discretion is the better part of valour, as you say, mate. And sometimes you just got to concede that the guys up the inside, and if you both want to get through, sometimes you've got to live to survive. So, but certainly, mate, congratulations on a fantastic win. Great to see you back in the winner's circle. Anyone you'd like to call out or shout out tonight before we let you go?
I have to shout out Emmanuel for my brake pedal actually broke in the warm up race, and he managed to give me a quick fix between the two races. So I felt a bit a bit bad fighting him in the last lap, but yeah, no, thanks for thanks for the tip, mate.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, nice to see that interplay between drivers and the competitiveness at the end, because we would have been sorry not to see that racing at the end, mate. But congratulations once again. We look forward to, and thank you for joining us on track, mate. We look forward to hopefully seeing you in the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I hope. Well, all going to plan. I should be there.
Beautiful. Thanks, Benny. Chat to you soon, mate.
All right. Cheers. Bye bye.
Yeah, Corey B. Simonson, our winner tonight. Great driving there. Really impressed with that fight back, because he just got the bit between the teeth and bridged that gap, and you do not see that, particularly the likes of Manu Luqueta on the front of this field, Corey. Just speaks to the pace of the man.
Yeah, well, that's right, Alex. And the gap was out to 5 seconds when we first noticed that it was Simonson there. So if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Benny Simonson. And we know that for sure and certain every single day of the week. But it does not make it any less incredible that it happened.
Yeah, mate, amazing. Just again, speaks to the pace of the guy, and pretty controlled. I think he would have seen firsthand some of the stuff, the craziness that went on. And even here, I think I'm on that one in the replay, and there's a big gap out to the front four before it all went a cropper, and it's 2x2x2, and yeah, could have got pretty messy. But moving on, we'll go in finishing order. We got the Cowboy, Mr. Sam Devantia, who started, I think, in 15th tonight, fought his way up to 9th, up 6 positions, mate, and was pretty adventurous out there, I would have thought. How was it like for you?
I'm actually I just watched Benny's miraculous survival on the final corner. So congrats to Benny on that win. Survived the good old lucky nut code there. But yeah, it was a bit of an eventful one. So a bit of carnage. I hate to see it, but this track's ridiculous. So
well, mate, you got to be in it to win it. You're in there tonight, and you've moved up quite a substantial amount in what was a very, very strong field, nearly 4,700. Just a tick under tonight. Free track, of course, brings a few of them out, and I think we're on board with you at the moment when the big one occurred early on. But had to race smart to get through all that, mate. Is that how you saw it there tonight? Just kept your nose clean and got through a lot of the mess.
yeah, it was. Well, obviously I had no pace around here, so it was just survive pretty much. And yeah, and I somehow got P9 and all of it. So yeah, it's just this layout's not fun. I don't like it. So some might agree, some disagree. I don't know. I don't like it. So in the Lagos next week.
Yeah, Interlagos should be a big week in the skips. Great track, great layout for these cars, and hopefully we see some big fields. Oh, mate, little touch and go there for you on the replay. But anyway, mate, congratulations. Inside the top 10 in a bumper field. I can't complain about that, mate. And anyone like you a shout out to before we let you go?
Obviously, there was no Marla tonight, so a bit of a shame. Would have been nice to have battled the Marla boys. The fun rivalry. Spear Snail boys again, yeah, Spear Snails, yeah. That's about it. In my Twitch page as well, the Cowboy 99 the good old live broadcast. So.
Beautiful. Check out the Cowboy 99 on Twitch. And great to see Sam back out on there on track once again. So thanks for joining us, mate, and look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come.
Yeah, catch you guys.
Yeah, Corey, that was Cowboy. Looked to keep his nose pretty clean and got a pretty good result by doing so, shall we say.
Well, the aim of the game tonight, Alex, definitely looked like just stay out of trouble. And the Cowboy managed to do that, come out of it with a top 10. He gets some Sunday Night Lights points, and it's just all going to be looking up for him going into Interlagos next week. It's a track that I know that Sam does well at, so it'll be interesting to see what he can pull out of the magician's hat next week for us.
Yeah, let's hope so. I hope we see some good fields again next week because it's a great fun track. Final person for tonight will be Mr. Julian O'Fray, who was right up the front there and right in the action until it all came a cropper, mate. Bad luck tonight. Not the race you would have hoped for at what is proving to be a pretty tough track to race at, Julian.
Missed my qualification, so started with guy I'm not Z2, and I was not smart. It seemed too wide when when I don't need. No, not good. I lifted for my crash, but I rear-ended. I don't understand.
Yeah, mate, it was tough out there, and we were talking to O'Fray, to Benny Simonson before, and some people, we need to think sometimes about the length of the race and what's involved, and to get through it, sometimes you've got to lift to live. So look, a lot of learning out there tonight, I think, and hopefully we see that put into practice when we head to Interlagos next week, mate. So, look, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we wind things up?
Not really, but Sasha Gorley miss me to to this category because I practiced a lot with him for this situation, for example, and this is what miss me this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, mate, get in Sasha's ear. We'd love to see the two Red-Face Racing boys back up the front once again. But regardless, mate, we look forward to... It's great to see you back in the car, and we look forward to seeing you in some of the races as we round out the season, mate. So hopefully we'll see you next week. And until then, mate, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, Corey, half of the Red-Face Racing team from a few seasons ago, Julian O'Fray, again, not sounding thrilled with the way things went as we're about to see him drive through that mega accident that saw McBurney put Nagai-san into the wall, which was, that was a shame. Nagai, mate, if you had any luck in these things, it's been bad. It's such a shame to see what could be, I was hoping for a Japanese podium, but he looked like he could almost win the thing tonight.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. I mean, he had the pole, he has the pace, and it's just unfortunate that that's not the way things worked out. And same for Alfred. It's just really bad luck that struck him tonight. But I would love for him to bring back Red Face Racing so we can see Red Face Racing versus Mambano Sim Racing and Benny Simonson, because I reckon that'd be a very interesting top 5 battle if we can get all 5 of them on track.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Nothing like having the best of the best put on a great show for us. But that, folks, speaking of great shows, that might about do us here tonight. Thank you once again for joining us both on track and off. Corey, tell the folks at home what you've got on in the coming week.
Well, Western Australia is in lockdown right now, so I will probably be getting on a little bit. I'll be doing some variety streaming throughout the week. On Wednesday, I'm looking at joining the boys of Output Racing League to do a fun race to end off their silly season before we start getting back into the seriousness of their actual season. And on Thursday morning, I'll be doing some proximity chat among us as well. So keep your eyes peeled on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Corey has no life 13. And you never know, I might just randomly go live without telling anyone about it.
Beautiful. Well, folks, as always, everything top splits on your screen right now. Join us in the Discord for the broadcast and the post-race interviews. YouTube is where you'll find this and every other race replay from the Sunday and Monday Night Lights catalogue. And this channel, of course, Top Split TV, is where you'll find us each and every week doing the best official Skippy racing in town. But for tonight, folks, I've been your host, Alex McKellen, and on behalf of the Chaotic One himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I will say to you, thank you for joining us, and until next time, ciao for now.